Hello and welcome to Nerd Subculture. I'm your host Jared.
And I'm Edwina.
And today we're continuing a Once More with Feeling series, the Buffy the Vampire series, where we count down every episode one by one, giving our reviews, giving our opinions, and giving all our lot, aren't we, Eddie?
Yes, and we are Nerd Subculture.
Are we? Did I say that?
No, you did not say that.
I did say that.
No, you didn't. You went straight for the Once More with Feeling.
We can replay that later. I'm sure I said it. So, yes, if you haven't been listening to our other podcast, this is our episode 4 of Once More with Feeling. So today we are doing Teacher's Pets, season 1, episode 4, released in 1997 on the 24th of March, making this over 23 years old, Eddie. That just makes us all feel so old.
Yeah.
Although I did not watch these when they first came out, I am not a huge Buffy fan, if you haven't noticed before, but Eddie is.
Yeah, and I watched these as they aired. So I think I was probably in year 12.
Still in high school, huh?
I was still in high school when these aired.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, so was I think, too. Yeah. Yeah, but I didn't watch it, though, so.
Okay.
No.
What did you do on a Tuesday night?
What most guys do on Tuesday nights.
What, play video games?
Yes.
This episode is written by David Greenwald and directed by Bruce Seth Green.
Oh, is that really in relation to Seth Green?
Absolutely no relation.
Oh, okay, just a coincidence.
Just a coincidence.
Okay.
And David Greenwald, this is a absolutely terrible episode, but
I hated this episode.
David Greenwald does actually go on to Angel pretty much. I think he's like a creator on Angel or a showrunner or I don't know, something on Angel.
Yeah. So your initial thoughts on this, Eddie? I mean, I got to be honest, I thought this was kind of garbage, this episode. I hated it.
So the problem with this episode is that it is normally the one that Like I honestly cannot recommend this episode to someone. If you're trying to get someone into this show, you really need to skip this episode.
I actually got bored. I started eating. I know I want to diet, but yeah, I started watching this and actually, I feel like some cheese and bickies. I went and got some cheese and bickies, and I think I missed some important parts that happened in here, but I don't feel like I missed out on much.
No, this really is them trying to be X-Files, I guess, which was they were really trying to get another X-Files on their hands, and they were doing the Monster of the Week episodes at this point.
Well, you think they kind of want to focus more on vampires? This is the 4th episode in, and only the first 2 were really about vampires, and the last 2 have been about witches and.
Yeah, but as I said,
she-mantises.
So it's meant to be, as I said, they were using X-Files as kind of a X-Files and I suppose Twilight Zone a little bit, like that ending with the eggs.
Yeah.
By the way, that never, ever, ever, ever comes up ever again. And the first season does this a lot, where they will end it with this little shot of something. Yeah, well, they did it the week before
as well with the trophy. They had a face, and God, that looked terrible as well.
Yeah, and there's a whole heap of other things that they do.
Yeah.
In the first season, end clips, these little twist endings that go absolutely nowhere.
Yeah, like to be continued almost, but not really.
Never ever brought up ever again.
No, terrible.
Yeah, so this is purely a one-off episode. The only reason I thought I was almost maybe you shouldn't watch it, but it does get brought up again because Xander ends up it becomes the running joke that he's attracted to demons.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So aside from that, that's probably the only thing that this episode serves is just to be a joke to use on Xander for the rest of the series.
Yeah, pretty much for the entire series.
Okay. Any other, do we get a sexy butterfly or anything like that? Or a horny caterpillar? No, just a she-mantis, huh?
Just a she-mantis, and I think they realised how bad and how poorly...
Because it really seems at a left field, is it you have witches and warlocks and vampires, fair enough, but a she-mantis, is there anything?
Yeah, it is on that borderline of, so they really they're going for their monster, your very traditional, normally they go for the very traditional, your vampires, werewolves, zombies,
Warlocks and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, witches, and not really your fantasy elements like your leprechauns and your fairies and
right.
that.
Well, that's even this is even beyond that. The fairies, really. This is a she mantis, and I'm not really sure. He worked it out, like, oh yeah, this must be that she mantis I heard about. And what? Really?
He had a friend who was
went mad
tracking
or something.
It, yeah.
But no. He tied it to the sirens, though, didn't he? Wasn't that what he said? They were kind of like sirens.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, but it just. Why would a siren be a she mantis? Like, that didn't make any sense. Okay.
I think she was just meant to be a type of a bug demon from another dimension. It's never clarified where she's from.
Wow.
Oh, they do. There are, like, in Angel, there's weird bug things from other dimensions and
right. Okay, but
stuff. So I'm just guessing she's from another dimension.
Right. Okay. Oh yeah.
And occasionally accidental portholes.
Right.
Open up. Also, that's from Angel. Angel has the vortexes that open and tear open and.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Watch out for those ones. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. Or like, I really don't have much good to say about this episode, and I would never recommend someone to watch this episode.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm glad it's over with, and now I think we'll dive into the synopsis. We begin this week at the Bronze. Xander saves Buffy from a vampire and is really awakened from his daydream to find himself stuck in the hell known as biology class. After class, Dr. Gregory, who was the only teacher to believe and encourage Buffy, is killed by an unseen monster. That night at the Bronze, Xander is taunted by fellow student Blaine for his lack of sexual prowess. When Buffy arrives, she converses with Angel and he warns her about a new threat. The next day, a substitute biology teacher, Natalie French, shows up and turns every boy's head. She seems to have a thing about insects, especially the praying mantis. At lunch, Cordelia finds the headless body of Dr. Gregory in a cafeteria locker. Later that night, Buffy goes to the park and confronts Claw, a vampire who has a large claw in place of his right hand. The fight is interrupted by the police, and the vampire flees. While in pursuit, she sees Claw come up behind Miss French, who just stares at him. To Buffy's surprise, the vampire bolts in panic. The following day, Buffy is late for biology class. When she looks through the window, Buffy is horrified when Miss French turns her head 180 degrees to look at Buffy. Later, Miss French asks Xander over to her house in the evening to work on a project. Back in the library, Buffy figures that Miss French must be a praying mantis. The gang discover that Blaine, who worked on the project with Miss French the day before, never came home that night. Buffy tries to warn Xander, but he brushes her off. Miss French welcomes Xander with a drink and a revealing dress. The drink knocks him out just when she turns into an insect. In the library, the gang discovers that the she-mantis lures virgins to her for her mating ritual. Willow reveals that Xander is a virgin and realizes that he is in great danger. To quickly find Xander, Buffy tracks down Claw, who is so scared of the she-mantis that he knows just which house is the right one. After finding the right house, the vampire attacks Buffy, but she quickly stakes him. Buffy breaks through the window when the mantis is about to mate with Xander. She slays the insect, using the bat sonar to weaken it. Xander then destroys the eggs that are in the house. Buffy, in Angel's jacket, later meets him at the Bronze. He tells her to keep it, and Buffy is obviously smitten. Later, Buffy puts Dr. Gregory's glasses in his jacket, still hanging in the glassroom closet, not noticing that there are she-mantis eggs attached to the bottom of the shelf or that one of them hatches. The end. Thank you. All right, Eddie. So, where do you want to start with this?
Well, what is it? It's definitely the budget episode.
Yeah. Actually,
like I think you pointed out, you noticed that none of the vampires dust.
Yeah, I thought that was odd because I mentioned during the podcast we did of the movie that the vampires didn't dust in it, and I thought that sort of made it a bit more gruesome because it just seemed like you were stabbing someone. But this one, yeah, I noticed both times that they didn't, and I think that might have been a budget thing because I think to do the CGI of that, it's like $5,000 or something. Yeah. So there's like $10,000 they saved on the episode.
And also, didn't they use like a leftover costume
this was
from
this was an
5?
interesting thing I find out. The actual praying mantis
costume.
Yeah, the actual praying mantis costume, or the what do you call it? Prop, I guess you suppose. Prop costume, yeah, was reused from an episode of Babylon 5 from season 1. I can't remember the name of the episode, but yeah, it was. I thought that was hilarious.
And as you said, that Miss French.
And yeah, funny enough that Miss French, the actress who played that, starred in Babylon 5. And just to talk about her, she's actually had quite an interesting career. This one's basically been in everything. You could talk about all like the 90s sort of crime shows. You can you go from we've got in Murder She Wrote, Boy Meets World. I can't remember that show. Is that the one that had the Fred Savage's brother in it? Yeah. Diagnosis, Murder, Highlander, the TV series.
I remember her in that, actually.
Sindel in Mortal Kombat Annihilation. I think she probably wrote it. Oh, she still got paid for it, so, whatever. And Star Trek Voyager as well, so give her that. Xena.
I remember her from Xena.
Yeah.
She's an Amazon queen from memory.
Son of the Beach. I love that show. I wouldn't mind watching that again one day. I want to see it. It's 2002 that came out. God, I wonder how that's aged. Even I think the Bold and the Beautiful she was in as well. Yeah, so NCIS. So no, this woman's been working pretty steadily for a long time. Hasn't done anything in a couple of years, but maybe got some things coming out, some stuff in pre-production. Musetta Vander, a Dutch South African actress. So yeah, no, she's done the Wild Wild West she was in too. The Will Smith and Kevin Kline film.
Oh, that horrendous.
Yeah. Again, that's a pretty healthy rap sheet, I reckon.
Yeah, but talking about it being a budget episode, back to that. Also that the puppet show, like at the end when Buffy's killing the mantis, it's all done in shadow, like in a puppet show.
Yeah,
like it's all done in. Oh, sorry, not shadow. Silhouettes on the wall.
That's probably because you couldn't destroy the prop. Because it was too expensive. Like that cost probably like $50,000 or something, that prop. So like they couldn't actually show us stabbing it because they might want to use it again. Which maybe it did prop up again. Maybe.
But yeah. So it's all done in that silhouette.
Nagarth, by the way.
Nagarth.
Nagarth?
Nagarth?
Yeah, Nagarth from season 1 of Babylon 5. 1993. Jeez, I didn't realize that show was that old. God.
Yeah. Yeah, so, and also how dark those, like when she's the mantis.
Yeah.
When she's as the she-mantis, how dark that scene is.
Yeah.
And I think that's to try to hide how bad the CGI is and how bad the actual prop is.
Yeah. Although you're saying as bad as terrible this episode, I remember sitting there watching this with you, Eddie, and you got the almighty jump scare from the cat. Was it the cat?
The claw guy.
Or the claw guy.
When he jumps out of the... Yep. And
I can't believe you jumped 10 foot. Yeah.
But you know how jump. I'm generally a really jumpy person.
Oh yeah, I know you are. Yeah.
You know full well how jumpy I am. Like you've walked up behind me and said, "Oh, hey Edwina," and I've jumped 6 feet in the air because I'm doing the dishes, concentrating on something else.
Yeah, you're pretty easy to jump scare, but I still can't believe a show that you've seen so many times.
Yes.
And you must have known that was coming.
Except that I normally skip this episode.
All right, so it's still one episode you haven't seen for a long while, so I guess it could still shock you a little bit. We'll let you get away with that one.
Yes, and as I said, I skip it. This is probably one of the worst episodes. It's not the worst. I have the one that I think is the worst.
Oh, we can hold it. We'll hold off on that one.
We'll wait till we get to
big reveal on that one.
Yeah.
Wait for the worst one. This is definitely the worst one I've seen, so I can say that for a fact of matter. Is there anything else you wanted to add in there?
Some of the this has very, very cheesy moments. Like I know you said, and those very awkward.
Oh, the awkward ramblings of all characters. I noticed it a lot actually. Xander and Willow were both guilty of that, I believe. And
I think it got really bad with Angel this time round as well when he's like, "Oh, you're cold," and he gives her the coat, and I'm just like,
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. Not
yeah.
good.
Oh, you're cold. He takes off and he's wearing a fucking singlet underneath. Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. And by the way, is that jacket now part of her uniform or her costume now or something now?
Sort of. She has an array of leather jackets.
So the leather jacket becomes her thing though, isn't it? That
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Not specifically that one though, is it?
No. Yeah, sort of. I can't really. Yeah, she has lots of leather jackets.
Right, yeah.
It is definitely her thing. Oh yeah, I just wanted to point out one of the that suspension of disbelief that you'll do, and it is that thing. Like I always wondered why the mantis didn't remain in her female form
when she went to mate with him.
Yeah.
So hang on, getting this right, did she mate with him while she was still a praying mantis?
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I was sort of like, I was kind of thinking of Death by Snoo, when they're sort of telling them they're going to, yes. Snoo when they're kind of smiling and frightened at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yay, ooh.
It's not the way I want to die, but it's probably the way I always hoped, So you think there'd be some, at least some hope of that. Well, okay, well, she's beautiful, so, it can't be all that bad.
Yeah.
You almost felt that they could have played into that joke a little bit too. Like, that would have been kind of funny, Xander saying, well, at least I get to lose my virginity this time,
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
And I don't know, the whole idea of him like having sex with this
praying
mantis.
But how do you even get it up if it's...
Did she have one of those cattle prod things?
Like, it probably would have been better if she had stayed in the female form. Also, you wouldn't have had to have seen that terrible costume. And the terrible CGI of her hand turning into a... What do you call their claw things?
Their praying hands? The praying mantis hands? Yeah.
Yeah. Holding his lap. And that whole scene with the... as I like...
it kind of went full Mrs. Robertson for a little bit, didn't it?
Yeah, and she's opening the door and the boobs are, they are right out there. And she is in the tiniest little, she has pulled out all the stops.
Yeah,
for
the
this.
fireplace is going and what drink does she offer?
Scotchka? No, not Scotchka.
Not Scotchka. What does he want? He asks for a martini, does he? Or?
No. She gives him a martini and he's like, what the hell is this? And who gives a 16-year-old boy a martini?
Well, I guess want something sugary, but they're probably too bitter to drink beer at that age, So that's probably actually that's probably newer stuff. Give them something sugary.
Yeah, something. Martinis aren't sugary,
aren't they?
No.
Oh,
martinis. As I said, it's pretty much just gin and vodka mixed together.
Okay. Actually, that's completely sour, isn't it?
Yeah, it's straight alcohol.
Right. Yeah.
It's tearing your esophagus apart pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Though then again, I am not a big fan of martini. So I very well could be wrong. But I know it's pretty much straight alcohol. There's not a lot of...
It's pretty hardcore for your first drink.
There's not a lot of mixer in it. As I said, it's like Scotchka for your first drink.
Scotchka.
Which, if you don't know, is from The Room.
Yeah, The Room. The famous drink from The Room that they drink is Scotchka. It's vodka and scotch.
It's vodka and scotch straight.
Scotchka.
And he drinks it going... He's never touched alcohol. He's like a 50-year-old... No, I'm sorry. What is he? He's like a 40-year-old...
30? I think he's like 30, isn't he? He says he's 30, isn't that his thing?
He says he's 30.
I'm the same age as just you.
You don't know his age. But he has never drunk alcohol. Ever.
His first drink is Scotchka. Straight scotch and vodka. Oh.
And he sips it going, it's good.
Getting off on a room tangent there.
Yeah.
There's a mention of shawarma in this episode too.
Oh yeah, Xander starts babbling
about shawarma. And of course
Greek food.
We all know shawarma would come back up in the Whedonverse in the Avengers movie in the end credit scene when they're all eating shawarma.
Yeah, but that starts with Tony Stark when he lands.
Is it?
Yeah, I think it's when he comes into it.
Isn't it just them at the end eating shawarma? Like they're just sitting around?
Yeah, because he mentions it prior to that, though.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He's like, hey, guys, you want to go get some shawarma? There's a really great shawarma shop. And he's all like, I think it's after he falls from the sky.
Right, yeah. Yeah, that's
like
right,
his,
yeah.
His suit's like all falling apart and stuff. And he's sort of deliriously talking about shawarma, I think, but I haven't seen the movie for a while. And is it question time?
Yeah, was there anything else you wanted to add, or?
No, there's not really much. Do you really want to talk about, like, what is this? You know, do we really want to get into the deep metaphors of this episode? How wrong seducing teachers, seducing
that really
students are.
It was very tacky. The virgin sacrifice. Again, it's just never explained why. Why virgins? Like what?
Oh, because it's a what is it? The patriarchy?
Pagan?
No, the patriarchy.
Patriarchy?
Yeah.
Well,
like virginity is just a construct of the patriarchy.
What?
You know, to determine a female's value. And in this case, a male's value, whether they're clean and how much they're worth through their virginity.
Okay. I just thought maybe it was like the blood was pure or they tasted better or, you know, yeah. I don't know.
Maybe it's just the magic. Maybe just the magic of a virgin's sperm. It's what works on her eggs.
Oh. Gross. Very gross. Those eggs. Because they'll come back again. Not.
Yes.
All right. I think, roll into the questions. The questions. All right, Eddie, hit me.
Okay. Which character was your favorite?
I like Claw. I think that guy could have his own show, to be honest. That guy, he was like a half Wolverine. He only had one claw, and it seemed like, how did he get that claw? Why does he have the claw? Do other vampires have sort of appendages attached to them or not? Don't they usually just regrow their appendages? Or that they've rechanged that?
Oh, vampire?
Yeah.
In this, I think if you lose an appendage, it's gone. But, I'm pretty sure they can sew it back on, though. Like,
can they?
Well, it's done in Angel.
Right, okay. Yeah, so vampires lose feet and legs that they...
Well, if they get it and magically get it put back on.
Okay, he just decided, no, you know what? I'm going with the claw. I've just felt like that guy had more going for him in this episode. Like, that guy seemed more interesting than the main protagonist, the she-mantis. And I never explained why he was afraid of her. Like, how he knew who she was.
Well, they kept talking about her pheromones. Maybe that he knew because of her pheromones. He could, like, apparently vampires have really good smell.
Okay, all right. Well, I can have that one.
Yeah, I'd probably say the same, to be honest. And he actually legit scared me.
Yeah. Well, yeah. See?
Which character are you hating?
Willow, and I think I'm going to throw Xander in there as well.
Yeah, in this episode, Xander's pretty awful. Yeah. What was the most memorable fight scene?
Probably the Claw again. Claw and Buffy. The first fight scene was probably the first time they fought.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was probably a bit better. It was a bit better than the second one because the second one didn't really fight, did they? She just kind of stabbed him.
Yeah, it was a bit awkward the second time around.
Yeah, but the first one they seemed to have a bit of a battle.
I actually did kind of like the puppet show silhouette.
Yeah. That was so they don't destroy the prop, though. Okay, very expensive praying mantis suit they've got there.
Yes.
Yeah, budget episode, save on the vampire dusting and the reusing of another prop. So.
Okay, what was the LOL moment?
Oh, the fly sandwiches. When she was eating the
crickets.
The cricket, sorry, the cricket sandwich.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I think that was pretty hilarious. Unintentionally, maybe?
Unintentionally funny.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was a bit lame.
I thought, why?
Yeah, I kind
Actually, were they virgin crickets?
I guess.
Were they?
Most crickets. As I said, virginity is strictly a human thing. Yeah, I probably think that when you look at when you see her hand on Xander's lap, and it's slowly like really bad 90s CGI's into
the morph into the weird.
Yeah, but the moment you see her hand like it has that weird glow.
Yeah, you know that's
and
ready
you're like,
for the morphing.
uh-oh, we're getting some bad CGI now. Yeah, I have to laugh at that when he's like, oh, your hands feel so scaly.
Terrible.
Yeah,
I'm shaking my head going, oh God. This episode.
Who gets the wooden spoon in this episode?
I think it's a real toss-up between Xander and Willow in this one. Probably Xander.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Blaine.
Blaine?
Blaine, yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to go with Blaine, but I'm going with Blaine.
Yeah, I'll go Xander. All right, yeah.
Favourite scene?
My favourite scene would probably just be the unintentional jump scare that Claw gave you as you jumped out of the tunnel. The fact that it scared the shit out of you. Well, something you've seen before and it still got you like that. You really jumped then, and I'm like, what the hell? Yeah.
Right.
Claw. I miss Claw. He needs his own show.
Yeah, my favourite scene of this is probably... Okay. Yeah, I don't have a favourite scene in this episode.
You can't think of one? Okay. No?
No. Do you have a favourite quote?
Yeah, it's funny. I was sort of looking up quotes and all of them just seemed really lame. No, I don't have one. I can't think of it. No.
Yeah, I like when Rupert says, recording bat sonar is something similar akin to having one's teeth drilled.
Why is that?
Have you heard bat sonar?
No.
It sounds terrible.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Fair enough.
He was just unimpressed that he had to go record some bat sonar.
All right. Okay.
Who is the MVP of the episode?
Well, I guess Buffy saves the day.
Yeah, I'd have to go with...
yeah, Buffy, MVP.
Yeah, Buffy definitely works it all out pretty quickly. Yeah. Manages to convince everyone about a bloody...
Which she worked out very quickly, I might add, too. She's like, oh, she turned her head 180 degrees. She must be an owl.
Only insects can do that.
Yeah. I was waiting for her to say that. Oh, she must be an owl. What else could she be?
Well, she did keep going, I'm going to do my homework. She says that a few times, actually. What do you rate the episode out of 10 and using something?
Okay. Out of virgin sacrifices, I'll give this a 2 out of 10 virgin sacrifices.
I'll give this 1 virgin cricket.
One virgin? Oh, lower than me?
1 virgin cricket sandwich.
Wow. Okay. I gave it a higher rating than you. Jeez. That bad, huh? Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I suppose I should have gone 1. I regret not going 1. All right. I don't know why I gave it 2. I just thought, I can't give it a 1, can I?
There won't be that many ones that I'll give.
Okay.
Trust me.
All right.
And that is the end.
That is the end. So anything more you'd like to add, Eddie?
No. If you can avoid this episode, don't watch it.
Yeah, no, don't recommend it. Okay, well, that wraps it up for this week then. We are Nerd Subculture. See, I said it there. Nerd Subculture. I said it.
Yep.
I said it at the start.
You said it.
I'm Jared.
And I'm Edwina.
And you'll be listening to our Once More with Feeling, our Buffy the Vampire Slayer series.
And please subscribe and...
Like
and share.
Hit us up. Send us an email. What's our email address?
I don't know.
We'll think of one. See ya.
Bye.